Yeah, she goes, Reese's and going with us or something.
She's going to take the kids to the zoo today. My youngest daughter, remember Emily?
Yeah.
Her class is going on a field trip to the zoo, so she's going with and taking our new one, Christian, and she needs the stroller, and I locked it up, and she needs a key, and I don't set one for her there. So anyway, he's convinced that everybody's going to be fair about this. He walks out, and everybody's like, you're going to, no, you didn't start it. I started it, right? All right, but anyway, Germany is convinced it's going to be a fair treaty. Everybody's just going to quit. It used to be called Armistice Day. If you look, where is it? I think I have it somewhere. Oh, it's just listed to your left on that paper. It's just, I have Armistice Day. Folks, November 11th, the 11th hour, 11th day, 11th month, Germany finally said, okay, stop. And it was an Armistice Day. But as soon as Germany quit, or Jordan quit, everybody says, now man, I get that piece, he gets that piece, she gets that piece. What are you talking about? No, you're going to have to pay for all this. Look at all these busted cars and busted windows and destroyed crops. You're going to have to pay for this.
But everyone else?
Jordan says, yo, if you take my yard, I can't grow things, so I can't pay for it, right? They said, well, you figure that out. We're all getting a piece of your yard, and you're going to still have to pay these bills. Did they do that to Germany?
Yeah.
Yes, they did. What was the name of the treaty?
Treaty Versailles.
Right. Treaty of Versailles. Now, we all know what happens, but here you go. Since Jordan doesn't have any yard around his house, except a few feet around the house, he can't grow enough to sell enough to make money. And so he can't pay his bills. Not only can he not pay the Allies their payments that they demand, but his electricity gets turned off. His gas gets turned off. His TV, his phone, everything starts getting shut down. He's living by candlelight in the house, wherever he goes, doesn't even have running water for crying out loud, trying to get by growing a little bit of stuff around the edge of his house. He's suffering. Do you think he's angry at everybody who did this to him?
Yeah.
You betcha. One day, all of a sudden, this hot chick shows up. Who's this hot chick? No, wait, look at it. What do you want this hot chick to be? TV, singer, anybody? Ricky Bear. Ever since she shaved her head, I haven't seen her that short anymore.
Her hair's back.
I know her hair is back, but she still doesn't look that good.
Can't look at her now.
Carmen Electra works for Longoria. She doesn't do it for me anymore either since she married Eva Longoria for a while. So anyway, does that work? This hot chick shows up at Jordan's door, and she's like, hey Jordan, I couldn't help but notice you working in your yard the other day, and I just had to meet you, and and she goes, how about we go out? He goes, I don't have any money, I'm paying. So you get in her nice car, and then you go out and have a nice night.
What kind of car?
What kind of car? Who cares? Lamborghini. Right? So they go out, have a good time, and Jordan comes back and she goes, by the way, Jordan, I paid all your bills. Your electric's back on, your water's back on, everything's back on. He's like, this is awesome. She goes, want to go out again sometime? Yeah, right? And so pretty soon, they hook up, right? And she's taking care of Jordan. You think do you think Jordan wants her to stay around?
Yeah.
You betcha. Now you can tell me who Carmen Electra really is. Right. That she represents Hitler in this story, right? And then, after a while, she goes, Jordan, we need to get your yard back. He goes, what can I do? She goes, well, let's just go out and start getting rocks. He goes, I don't even have any buckets anymore. So she goes out and buys a bunch of buckets. And then she has a big load of rock coming, dumped in his driveway, so they can just fill up buckets and set them all around the yard, around the house. And then she goes, hey, I'll be back. And she starts going to people's doors. She goes to Brandon and says, Brandon! He's like, yeah? And she said, I couldn't help but notice that you have a piece of Jordan's yard, and you're doing very well. You don't seem to need that extra piece, but Jordan didn't have food for crying out loud. Why don't you give that back to him? And he's like, well, whatever you want, right? And she goes, thanks, you're a sweetheart. Gives a little kiss, and he's like, this is great. Go ahead, take whatever you need. And Jordan, she goes around and starts getting pieces of the yard back for Jordan. This is awesome. Was Zipper doing that?
Yeah.
Yes, he was. He was turning things around. Now, pretty soon, Jordan has enough rocks and enough things going on that he's living a little bit better, and he realizes that he has an opportunity. He's got all these rocks. He's got a better situation. He has an opportunity to get his yard back. So he goes to another door, and he knocks, and this time he has a bucket of rocks in his hand. And he says, hey, you know that piece of yard you took from me? I really need it because I don't make any more money, and I can't even pay you what you want me to pay you without having more yard. And by the way, I have a bucket of rocks. Okay, sure, you can have your yard. And so Hitler begins to take back things and then demand more stuff, like Austria and the Sudetenland, and then another part of Czechoslovakia. And eventually, he keeps going back, and he even invents these new ways to fight. He's got these 4x4s stuck in the ground, side by side in places in his yard. And he's got these big cut inner tubes nailed to them. And he can take a big stone, put it in there, pull back, and let go. And man, that sucker goes right through the roof of your house. That's a perfect weapon. He's got these perfect big catapults all over his yard, and everybody's thinking, ooh, he could do some damage with that. Let's not tick him off, okay? Whatever he wants, let him have it, because we don't want to fight with that. What type of philosophy or scenario does this fit? It's a concept. I don't know if I have it up here. Yes, it's right here. What did you say? Appeasement. Look, attempting to preserve peace by yielding to the demands of an aggressor. Are they going to be able to keep the peace?
Can we say something?
As long as he threatens war and everybody gives him what he wants to avoid war, you are keeping the peace, but it's only temporary. Because at some point you have to say enough is enough, don't you? Hello? And when you say enough is enough, Jordan is like, I don't think so. Now you're going to pay. And of course war breaks out and we go all the way back and start this thing over again.
This is our social
Not
sacrifice.
like yesterday.